Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your Photo News Fix. First up, we're going to the moon. That's right, the Artemis II rocket took off for the moon the other day, and I was not there. Now, people keep asking me why I wasn't there, and the reason is simple. I missed the deadline to register for a credential, and that's on me.
Bummer.
Anyway, the good news is it took off. The other good news is a Z9 made it on board. Now, before you think I'm gonna poke fun that NASA is using a 10-year-old Nikon followed by a pew pew pew, take a look at this first photo that the Artemis II sent back from space. The Nikon had one job and the entire Earth to focus on, yet it back focused. I kid. They actually sent back a really cool shot taken with the Nikon D5 at 51,200 by Reed Weissman, and the reason it was so high is because he shot it of the backside of Earth with the sun in front of Earth. He couldn't be like, hey sun, could you move this way? So stop comparing it to the one taken in 1972, because that was done in full sunlight with the sun lighting up the Earth. Yeah, light, it makes a difference.
Duh.
Anyway, I've got a full video posted about those two photos that is linked down below. Now, the story of how the Z9 ended up on board is simple. Reed Weissman fought to bring the Z9 because it's the camera that future moon missions will be using. Now, mind you, with some important modifications. Now, to go along with the Z9 on board, they currently have a pair of D5s, which have been used extensively in space over the last few years. You have to remember that space, and the moon for that matter, are not very forgiving. There's radiation, temperature swings of hundreds of degrees, and much more. Now, I still would prefer something medium format, but more on that on the next Raw Talk when we go into more detail about why NASA is using Nikon and if I think that is a mistake. Not because it's Nikon, but because there's bigger stuff available. Nonetheless, I look forward to seeing more photos that the crew captures on their mission, hopefully not with their iPhones. Can the astronauts get a smash of the like button down below, so that they have a safe trip around the moon and back to Earth? Thank you. Next up, do you remember the Sony Afeela electric car that Sony teamed up with Honda to make? Well, the plug is finally being pulled. Let's be honest though, did Sony ever intend to ship the car or just show off what they are capable of doing with all of the sensors, cameras, and displays that they make? Now, survey says the second one. Fun fact, I got to sit in Sony's car at Condo a few years ago, and I didn't get a photo of myself in it because I didn't really care that much. The tech inside was amazing. Massive wraparound displays everywhere, cameras and sensors inside and out, and even a PlayStation 5 in the trunk. I don't game, so that doesn't matter to me. Even though I never expected it to be released, I think Sony and Honda actually did as a... Hold on. Jared's finishing up a cold.
I'm glad to see you feeling a little better.
Let me take that back. I think Sony and Honda actually did as they built a prototype, built 6 new showrooms, and started taking reservations. I wonder if Dan made a reservation.
Part car, part truck.
But alas, it was not meant to be, but something tells me it wasn't a total loss for the two companies as they got to show off tech that will probably end up in someone else's vehicles. It's not your camera, it's you. Your camera isn't why your photos aren't as good as you expected them to be, but that's okay because I can teach you exactly what you need to do no matter what camera or lenses you use to get photos that do not suck. Join me at the next Fronos Photo Bootcamp on Saturday, May 30th, right here at the Fro Factory in Philly for a jam-packed day of 8+ hours of hands-on learning, shooting, fun, critiquing, and more. There will be models for portraits in good light as well as low light situations, action photo opportunities with a basketball player and skateboarder, and possibly a Ghostbuster or two. I keep the class size small so you'll get plenty of one-on-one time with me and another pro photographer by the name of Greg. Now, it doesn't matter if you've just picked up your first camera, had one for a while, or you're just looking to level up your skills. All skill levels are welcome. Space is limited. To learn more and lock in your spot, head on over to bit.ly/May30Fro or click the link down below. Next up, remember when I warned you back in December that flash memory prices were about to skyrocket?
There is going to be a shortage of flash memory going into 2026. Just Google flash memory shortage.
Well, we all know that's exactly what happened. And this week, Sony has suspended orders for their memory cards. And I quote, "Due to the global shortage of semiconductors and other factors, it is anticipated that supply will not be able to meet demand for CF Express memory cards and SD memory cards for the foreseeable future. Therefore, we have decided to temporarily suspend acceptance of orders from our authorized dealers and from customers at the Sony store." Now, I saw a lot of people saying that Sony had discontinued making cards, and that just isn't the facts. They've stopped making them for now. Now, you can't blame Sony for doing this, and I can only assume they won't be the only memory card company who will be forced to do the same. They expect the shortage to continue through 26 and into 2027, which means higher prices for an extended period of time.
Thanks, Obama.
I mean, thanks, AI. It's crazy that SSD prices more than doubled in the past few months. Now, this isn't a paid plug here, but I will leave a link in the description below to ProGrade, who still has reasonable prices on SD, micro SD, CF Express A and B. And with that being said, we better protect our memory cards at all costs because they are so damn expensive to replace, right? Meow. And finally, Sony Alpha Rumors is claiming that a new 67 megapixel A7R6 is coming in May.
Gonna be May.
This time they claim that 3 reliable sources have confirmed the following info: that the camera will have close to a 67 megapixel resolution, a new body design, and be on the market in May. And to that I say, okay. Thanks, 3 reliable sources, for sharing, I guess.
But wait! There's more!
Sony Alpha Rumors guy says he has no other reliable info to share yet, but got a spec list from an unknown source that he warns could be wrong and shares it anyway. And now I'm going to share those Looney Tunes specs with you right here, but they are probably 99% BS. These off-the-wall specs claim the 67 megapixel sensor will be fully stacked, have a Bion's XR2 processor, 8.5 stops of IBIS, 30 frames per second, 14-bit RAW with the electronic shutter, improved AIAF, 16 stops of dynamic range with a mechanical shutter, 10K oversampling, 8K 30 full frame, and 6.4K oversampled 4K 30, a bunch of other insane video specs I don't feel like reading, and whatever else Dan is showing on the screen right now. But Sony Alpha Rumors in his recap does say 2 new lenses are coming as well: a 16 2.8 f2 G Master and a 100 to 400 f4. Now, if those 2 lenses are real, look the out, because not only will they be expensive, but they will be hard to find because people are going to hoover them up like an elephant drinking water, or whatever else sucks a lot. Maybe a Dyson. I don't know.
Finally got all the chrome off this video.
What do you think about this rumor? Let me know down below. And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. Thank you very much for watching. Jared Polin, Fro knows photo.com. See ya.